Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box. Now, when most people think of the 60s, they think of the Beatles, and it's quite obvious why they would. But in the middle of the decade, in 1965, the top-selling artist in the US was Herb Alpert with his mostly instrumental, trumpet-based, Mexican-flavored music that everyone loved. And this is a subject I've talked about before, but I'm going to mention it again because for me, it's important for people to remember that no era or no decade was dominated solely by any one genre or any one musician or any one style of musicians. When there was Wagner, there was also Brahms. And in that same era, there was someone doing totally different things, and that was Tchaikovsky. When Frank Zappa was releasing Freak Out, there was also the Ballad of the Green Berets around that same time. In the 70s, diversity of popular styles was huge. You had Judas Priest and Donna Summer, disco and heavy metal going on at the same time. You had folk rock and progressive rock, James Taylor and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And the 60s was no exception. And Herb Alpert was one of the kings of the 60s. Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass released album after album of mostly instrumental hit after hit. And these albums were absolutely ubiquitous. People of all ages tended to like them. Now, obviously, rock and roll skewed more young, but young people liked the music, middle-aged people liked it, even old people liked the music. And I mean, just his first album, The Lonely Bull from 62, instant classic. His even more sort of Mexican flavored Volume 2 was great, followed by South of the Border. In 65, he had Whipped Cream and Other Delights. You've all seen the album cover, the naked girl wearing the whipped cream, one of the most iconic album covers of all time. And a few months later, he released what I consider the best Herb Alpert album ever, Going Places. And throughout the 60s, rather, so many albums by Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Bros that were at the absolute top of the charts. I mean, he had three in a row beginning in 65. Whipped Cream, number one. Going Places, number one. Followed that up with What Now My Love, number one. Then later in 66, SRO, Standing Room Only, number two, but sounds like the next album, back to number one. And in 68, he was back at number one too with The Beat of the Bros. So he was really someone that absolutely dominated a 60s landscape, playing a very different kind of music than your Beatles and your Stones, which just goes to show you that while people might want to paint a picture of a monolithic style, there is in any era that you want to examine, certainly in the modern age, more than one style. And Herb Alpert was arguably the king for a day and maybe even for a decade. And more. As always, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.